Hey Louie, how are you?
Doing good here in Las Vegas, Nevada. How are you?
Tell me what we're cooking today.
I chose a dish that kind of speaks to me. Used to eat it a lot as a kid. It can be considered as the national dish of the Philippines. So I'm gonna do chicken adobo. We're going to walk through like a really basic, little bit of my touch into, but it's going to be the basic, soy sauce and vinegar and spices marinade.
Awesome. I mean, those are some of my favorite things. So I'm so glad you're going to show me this recipe. So walk me through it. What should we do first?
We should actually. Okay, so traditionally it's a marinade comprising of soy sauce, vinegar. We usually use white vinegar, but for today we're going to use, I have apple cider. I said apple cider and balsamic for you because that's what I really want, but I can't find my balsamic for the life of me right now. The reason why is because I feel like that balsamic just gives that like a little bit of a touch of sweetness to it. And, Filipinos have that like sweet, salty palate, common to Asians. White vinegar is fine, but I tend to kind of just like use this for like pickling and other stuff. Just know that it's vinegar. It's a 1:1 soy sauce to vinegar.
How much vinegar am I doing?
Half a cup.
Okay, so I do have both apple cider vinegar and balsamic, so I'm gonna do a fourth cup of each, right? And then you said a half a cup, 1:1 soy sauce. So a half a cup of soy sauce.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pour my vinegar over there, and then I'm going to pour my soy sauce.
Now, do you have a preference on soy sauce?
See, that's a great question. Growing up, I used to have this brand readily available because this is what we have in Manila. But you can use any sort of soy, just not like the dark, really salty type soy. Like your regular Kikkoman is fine. But this brand per se, you can like really get in like Asian stores or like Filipino stores.
So what's the flavor of that soy sauce?
I feel like it's like a mild salty. It's not like overly salty. It's also not kind of like a Japanese restaurant salty.
Okay. All right. So it's about 2 pounds of chicken, and you prefer chicken thighs, correct?
Well, I have drummies. You can use drumsticks. You can use chicken thighs. You can use a whole chicken if you wanted to.
So we've got bone in, skin on today. And what else goes in this marinade? So you've got
we're going to work on our onions. Yeah, we're going to work on our onions. I'm going to adjust my screen. There we go. So tail and top. And you want to kind of just go in there, right in the middle. You want to peel it. And then at the restaurant, what we want to do is kind of like cut into like it horizontally, kind of like dicing it up.
But not all the way across, right?
Not all the way across. You want to leave that like little sliver that's like still intact, so that's where you kind of like position your fingers. And then you go come straight down.
Okay, and am I adding this into the marinade?
Yes.
What else goes in this marinade?
So we just have, I asked for 3 cloves, right?
All right,
I'm going to make it a little bit more garlic.
Is there ever too much garlic?
That depends on the eater or the cook.
I think that was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, right. I actually love garlic. So, yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I would still like season the chicken with like garlic powder and onion powder just to have it stick. Oh yeah, so we're gonna talk about spices real quick that traditionally go in there. We've got some black peppercorns. Traditionally, this is like left whole. Bay leaves.
How many bay leaves?
You smell great. So I'm gonna put maybe 3 or 4 in there. If you want it spicy, you can add some dried chilies to it.
How many dried chilies?
Just maybe 1.
Just 1?
And then
okay.
This.
Should we rip it open?
And then this, for me, since I have a lot of like Spanish influences in, you know, the places I work. I like to add this smoked paprika, and this is actually a smoked sweet paprika. Maybe a teaspoon. Yeah.
Is this traditional?
No, this is a meat.
This is your special touch.
Yeah, this is my special touch. You can put this away, the marinated stuff, like maybe for a couple hours in your fridge, or, you know, marinate it overnight, which we did. So we're gonna turn on the heat. I'm on high right now because I kind of want to get like a sear on these chicken parts.
And are we gonna use just some oil? How much oil?
So I have this is just like regular canola oil.
Okay. How much oil?
Probably a tablespoon.
Do you want skin side down or meat side down?
Skin side down. Yeah,
skin side down first.
So we want to do that browning.
So how long should we cook it on each side?
What the side you know is like just getting a nice little brown on it. That will kind of like help just like keep the chicken together and like help with the color. Because if we would like traditionally, you can also just like put everything in one pot and just braise it from there. But I kind of like, you know, to make things look pretty and right. You know, as a chef, it's kind of like, okay, why do you do this? It's always a game of whys, right?
Some browning is always good because it's extra flavor. Ooh, nice. We got some color here. So as we're kind of waiting for this, what should I be thinking about next?
Yeah, we're gonna add the remaining marinade in there. So it's not a stew. It's my preference that, you know, we braise it instead of like doing it where it's like fully covered. But a lot of people like the adobo sauce, so feel free to adjust as you go. So I'm gonna pour in the rest of the marinade in there.
So how are things going in Las Vegas? I mean, you've got such a huge restaurant community there.
It's a little bit sad. I went around town last week shooting photos of just dead and dying restaurants. A lot of places have closed down. They've just like chosen to close down their operations. However, there's like a lot of smaller businesses and restaurant owners, like local restaurant owners, that have transformed their operations to, you know, community stores. You can get like quality meat and stuff from them, and or, you know, strict takeout. So yeah, it's pretty sad.
So I've got some really good color now. Should I add the liquid in at this point?
Yep.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. Let's check this out. Check this out. Look at that. All the sugar on the life. For sure.
Right.
Okay, so I should
cover that.
So I should add water to cover, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
And then we simmer with the lid on.
Yep, lid on.
You know, I love how you mentioned that you also want to make things look pretty, you know, because you're also a photographer. Can you tell me a little bit about that? You call yourself the chef-tographer, which I love. Right. I think that's really clever. How did you get into photography?
I always had a knack for it. I started with film a long time ago. I guess, you know, how I got to this point is just like the marriage of both of my loves, which is like cooking in the kitchen and photography. So I was like, why not food photography? And then it kind of like just like started from there. Went back to school. I got like a videography and a photography degree. And my mentor is like just, he's a BFA, has fine arts degree, and he just kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. So
you have such a distinct style too. You know, if anybody goes to your website, you have very bold, bright, contrasty photos. Tell me a little bit about your artistic style, as they say.
I hate, oh my God, I'm gonna rant about like Instagrammers, but I like taking photos of food.
Go ahead. We're all friends here.
I like taking photos of food, but I can't take, you know, especially clients who just like call me down and like drop a dish and that's it. Take a photo. I'm like, you can basically hire anybody to do that. Anybody who knows how to operate a camera or an iPhone, or somebody shows up with like a light. But I like projects that involve a little bit more creative planning, so to speak. Like, how do we do this? Like, how do we make a sandwich look appealing? Or how do we do like a floating sandwich shot? Or, you know, how do we make beverages fly? Or like, you know, capture eggs as they're being cracked. So that's where like most of my inspiration and creativity comes from. And I also make it a point to visit museums, look at paintings, and see how you can translate that into food. So that's like kind of like a basis.
I can understand how food would inspire your photography, but how has photography affected how you cook or the way that you behave in a kitchen, or has it affected you?
I think chefs have like this natural desire to make appetizing food, like food with appetite appeal. Not a lot of them understand what it takes for that to translate in a photo studio. For instance, like I would be working with a chef and he would like go gung-ho with like his seasoning. Like he would season his tomatoes. And I'm like, okay, I'm not quite ready for you. So if you drop that in front of me right now, by the time that I'm ready and set up, your set is great and good and ready to go. Your tomatoes would have already kind of like sweat because of the salt. So it's that understanding, basically, that when we're plating for the camera, it's like a different thing as in plating for a guest, where we're like actually checking for taste and stuff like that. So when we make food for the camera, we kind of want to make it camera ready, not necessarily like correct to taste. In the real cooking world, we want it to taste great first, and then we make it look pretty.
I mean, that's a lot of aspects intersecting in your life. So that's super cool. Should we check our chicken?
Yeah,
can you tell me what I should be looking for here?
Check on it. So yeah, we'll see, like we got like a little bit of a graze going on.
This smells amazing.
Yay!
Oh my gosh.
I'm just gonna turn my little drummy so you just want to check on it from time to time until like it's cooked. My whole thing with this is like low and slow. So you can also cook it fast. It really depends on what texture you can want.
So what's the benefit of one over another?
Low and slow will yield you like super tender, like almost flaking off.
What do you serve with this? Should we be working on our side dish?
This is a side dish that I kind of like thought of, because this is like what traditionally I grew up with in the Philippines. It's a mixture of tomatoes, some cilantro.
Ooh. So I should be, how should I cut the tomatoes? Am I dicing them?
You're dicing the tomatoes like that.
Okay. And any particular kind of tomato?
What I have right now are like the beef steaks. bigger bowl.
Diced, and then you said cilantro.
Yeah. One thing you just want to wash and then take the leaves. A nice little julienne or a rough chop would be fine. I'm just julienne mine. So you just want to bunch them all up, load them, and then just right across.
Oh, you're doing like a proper chiffonade. So for those of you who don't know what that is, she's actually, Louie is rolling up the leaves and then slicing them. Okay, what else goes in this salad? It's already looking really beautiful.
All right. I have some diced up mangoes here.
Can you show me how you prefer to cut mangoes?
Well, like a lot of people usually use a peeler, but you know, I'm a cook, so I will want to use the one tool that's indispensable to me, which is my knife. So topped and tailed, and now it's like nice and steady on the board. I'm gonna want to peel it with my knife. Just go straight down.
Okay.
Just follow the contours of the actual fruit.
You know what? I have never thought to top and tail the mango. I always do the lobe trick.
Besides, you want to go straight down and just like maybe get each cheek off.
Okay.
Like that.
Tomatoes and mango. So we're just adding all this in to the bowl?
Add it into the bowl.
Cool. So is this also traditional?
This is traditional. Well, as traditional as it can get for me. I was talking with my sister-in-law how they do it. There's like a lot of regions in the Philippines, and adobo has a lot of like variations. Like some people would actually add like different forms of vinegar or like maybe coconut milk. It just really depends on where you live and what's like indigenous. Clean up my bowl real quick.
That is beautiful. Gorgeous. Are we seasoning that?
And then, our other ingredient, we got red egg.
So, salted egg. Tell me about the salted egg.
Salted egg. Here we are. This is what it looks like. How you get it in the Philippines. It's just dyed red. And then I see that you have a salted egg, which is just like a plain duck egg. Like
yes,
salted.
I have a plain salted egg that is not dyed.
I'm not sure why this is dyed red.
Well, I know in the Chinese culture, anything that is the color red is usually meant for to symbolize good luck.
So that's probably why, because like we have a lot of like Chinese traders that have settled in the Philippines. So we're doing kind of like a Spanish dish because we were colonized for like 300 years, and then this is a little bit of the Chinese influence to it. So, I don't know if you have a preference, but I used to just see people just like crack this like right in the middle and then scoop it out with a spoon. But you can peel it.
Oh, cool.
It's so weird.
I am learning all sorts of things today. Thank you.
Look, it's almost Easter.
It is. So I'm scooping this out.
Yeah.
I made a mess.
I don't know about you. I love the yolks on these things. It's nice and creamy and a little bit salty.
Are you just dicing it up?
Yeah, dice it up. Okay. And then we're gonna add that in.
And just mix it up?
Yeah, we'll just mix it up. We can actually put some white onions on there too.
How reduced should the liquid be on the chicken?
Mine's looking a little bit good. See my favorite spoon. Check on the liquid.
Wait, what's your favorite spoon? I want to see your favorite.
Oh, it's just like a larger than normal spoon. Like all chefs have like their favorite sauce spoon. The one they used to kind of
yeah, me too.
Just like larger than normal dinner spoon.
I got two.
See?
Oh, these are mine.
Right? So you want to kind of, you don't want it thick, but you want it to be like,
Have some body, but maybe not thick, right?
there you go.
And there's a lot of fat has rendered off.
Yep. And it's coming together quite nicely, actually.
Mine's looking good.
Mine as well. So that soy sauce really gives it a lot of nice color.
Mm-hmm.
Turn my heat down a little bit low, so get a little extra love sometimes. So we're gonna go back to our salad here.
It's gorgeous.
And then, like I said, a salted egg should provide like a lot of like a salty flavor to it. But
Okay.
I like to just like put a little. So
all right, so I'm gonna give it a taste and then. I don't know. I think I'm good with just the salted egg.
Yeah.
I think I might be done. Let me get a.
Oh. That was gorgeous. That's good.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to taste it.
Right. I'm gonna give mine a little bit more time.
You go for it.
Cool.
Now, would you ever defat the sauce?
We don't do that in the Philippines.
I know we don't do that in the Chinese cooking way either, but you know, the fat has flavor.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where the flavor, all the good stuff resides. So, but if you're a stickler for it, if you're watching your calories, I mean, by all means, clean it up. How's it tasting?
I am tasting, and it's fat and all. It's really good. And that smoked paprika really shines through, but it's not overpowering. And I love just that hint, the tiny little hint of smoke with everything else. Oh my God, it's amazing.
So traditionally, this is served with white rice.
Okay.
Served over white rice. So I've got some white rice ready that I cooked with my rice cooker.
Rice cookers for the win. What kind of rice cooker do you have?
You know what? This is like a rice cooker that we picked up years ago. These things are like workhorses, and this is the reason why. Like I always fight with my mom because like I want my Instant Pot on the counter, but she wants her rice cooker on there. Right?
Instant Pot v rice cooker.
Right.
Have you seen have you seen David Chang's tirade on Twitter and Instagram? He's staying in a friend's house, and all they have is an Instant Pot, and he hates it because it's terrible for making rice.
Oh man, I haven't tried it. I wouldn't. I just really trust single function devices. Yeah. I love multi-function, but oh my God, like if push comes to shove, rice cooker. $10.
Like totally. If you eat enough rice, especially if you're Asian and you eat a lot of rice, like everybody has a rice cooker. Yeah, we bit the bullet and bought one of the fancy ones, and it's probably one of my favorite kitchen counter devices.
Yours probably makes congee too and stuff like that, right?
Yes. You know, I usually make congee on the stove actually, but yeah, the machine can make congee. It can make all sorts of different rices, and so therefore I keep a lot of different types of rices and just press the button.
Okay, so we're just gonna plate. Got a little bit of the salad.
So you did the shape the rice in a bowl thing. I'm just gonna do mine freestyle.
Oh, sure. Freestyle's good. Right.
So salad on the side. Pick one, anyone. Oh my goodness.
Two little drummies in there. And then you want to drizzle the rice with your sauce.
Okay, so drizzle the sauce onto the rice and the chicken. Do we drizzle it also on the salad?
No, I kind of just want to keep things separate. They're all going to go in the same place.
Okay.
So no separation.
Sure. All right.
Right now. And then for a really great For the sake of making that food look good, a little bit of cilantro. Right there.
And I'm going to clean my plate because I got sauce on the rim. So I'm just going to mop that up a little bit.
Overhead shot.
Okay, are we tasting now? I don't even know where to start. Look at this plate. Look at this, people.
Right? This speaks lunch to all of us like no other.
Is there a what's the equivalent to bon appetit? Is there a saying that you do say in the Philippines?
Kain na. That means let's eat.
All right, let's eat. First bite. Here we go.
Whoa.
It's so good. Louie, this adobo is amazing. And the salad is a revelation to me.
Right. Really simple stuff.
It's so good. I think I'm just gonna stand here over my cutting board and eat. Oh, wait, before we go, tell me about your podcast. You're up to like 30 plus episodes.
Oh, we're about like 46 or something like that.
46
right
episodes.
So we're almost, we're approaching our 1 year mark. It's called Two Sharp Chefs and a Microphone. And this was born out of like an idea that we had like a long time ago about like wanting to cover topics in the hospitality industry. And to me, I was like, what better city to do this in than Vegas? Because we're basically a one-stop shop. There's like a restaurant in every corner. And the strip itself is just like full of like really talented people. And we all have like those, the same type of culture, the same track of lives. And it would be great to talk about like issues that, issues about like mental health and or how it's like to be a chef or what our gripes are or relationships and stuff like that. So we've spoken to chefs and more or less we've like talked about like what they're contributing to the community, to the local community. All Two Sharp and a Microphone. We talk about food, we talk about hospitality, we talk about what it's like to be a chef and what we're doing currently in the community.
But your inspiration, I mean, you make that very clear that you had a very special inspiration for, especially for wanting to kick off the podcast.
Wow, yeah. So I was traveling through South Asia and I was in Bali and I was in the car with the driver because that's how you tour Bali. And I was running a corner and they had some sort of festival going on where they put sarongs around trees and decorate trees and stuff. And I suddenly see this white-haired gentleman, and it's Anthony Bourdain. It's Anthony Bourdain. I had to really think about what am I going to do. Am I going to ask my driver to stop? Or should I ask him to just go on and like I miss a chance of a lifetime? But luckily, I made the right choice because this was about like a month or two before he passed. So I met up with him. I met him like right underneath that tree, and it was just like I was starstruck. Couldn't say anything apart from like I'm a big fan. You don't know how your books changed my life or my career trajectory. You're like so cool. I wanted to say so much more. It never really occurred to me to ask him like, hey, how are you? I just like automatically assumed that he's like living a dream. So that was kind of like a wake-up call to me. Like chefs have like a lot of issues like in the kitchen. We have a hard life. And it's sort of kind of like a wake-up call to bring balance back, a quality of life on top of like that rigorous chefing life. So it's Tony Bourdain is an inspiration to me and my podcast partner, Lorraine. She's like in love with Tony Bourdain, and she's probably cried more over Tony Bourdain than I did, but he's a big inspiration, and we're just trying to fill in a little space that he left, that void that he left.
That's so wonderful. I mean, so many people have those kinds of stories about interactions with him and how everything that he represented and talked about in the world was so meaningful in so many ways. So it's really incredible that you are also creating art and conversation around that interaction. So I applaud you. Round of applause. Getting cheesy here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're very, very excited to come around to, you know, other people like outside of Las Vegas. We interviewed Catherine Miller from the James Beard Foundation, and that's one of the episodes you actually should check out. Like
I already listened to it.
Awesome. Awesome. And then for her to actually say like, okay, she listens to the aphrodisiac episode, because sometimes you just want to hear something funny, and there's nothing wrong with that. So anything good.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the food, this adobo is amazing. Thank you so much for letting me in your kitchen and sharing your recipe. I hope we get to do it again soon, because this was super fun.
Just let me know. I'm down for it.
Cool.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.